Hey, what's up you guys, Makeup's out here and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to be making a 360 wig with you guys. I didn't really know what I was doing because this is my first 360 frontal, but we're just going to do this together. We're going to figure this out. Okay, so the first thing that I did was, of course, I put the 360 wig on the dome cap, and I'm lining up the hairline at the edge of the dome cap, and then I'm going to put T-pins around the hairline so it doesn't fall down the mannequin head. And then after I did that, I pinned the inside of the 360 frontal so that way I could get everything lined up how I want it to be on the inside of the wig, and there wasn't like bumps and lumps on the outside of the wig. You guys can probably tell what I'm doing better than I can explain it, so I'm just gonna let you guys watch and then I'll come back. When I get on stage, all they do is clap, man. So make you join me in my Bugatti. Join me in my Bugatti. Only you in my Bugatti. Only you in my Bugatti. See my gypsy girl, something to myself. She wants water. He be mad in my place. She looking at my eye order. He wants water. She be moving so quick. You never see her coming. She wants to wander. Okay, so here you can kind of see what I mean by I was making sure there wasn't any bumps and stuff like that. I made a part in the frontal and then I would kind of like fold it over and see how it would look after I pinned it down, and to see how it would look after I stitch it, so that way I would get like a little bit of a clue of how it would look when I'm done. Now I'm just braiding the hair so that way I can get it out of my way when I go to stitch everything. If you don't know how to braid, you can just use a bunch of clips to get everything out of your way, but it was just faster and easier to braid the hair. After I got done braiding, I just used a clip to keep that out of my way as well. So now I'm just double checking everything to make sure it's laying good, it looks alright, there's still no lumps, and I can move on to the stitching process. So now I'm starting to stitch the frontal down, and with this, oh, my voice just cracked. I am so sorry. Anyways, with this you want to stitch pretty close together. At least I stitch pretty close together because I don't like when I cut my cap off underneath for there to be any gaps. So to eliminate any gaps, I just stitch really close together. So I just continue to stitch all the way around until I close up that huge circle, and then once I'm done with that, I will start to sew on my bundles. These are the bundles. I have a 20-inch, a 18-inch, a 16-inch, and a 14-inch 360 frontal. I do have a video of me unboxing this hair. I will link it up in the cards. I don't throw away the little stretchy elastic things that they wrap the bundles with because I like to use these for high puffs on my natural hair whenever I do wear my hair out. I'm sewing my 20-inch bundle first, and I am double wefting it so I can use as much hair as possible. And I don't go through my wefts. If I'm double wefting, I start at the fold of the weft and then I'll continue. I don't always do that. It just depends on if I'm having trouble starting to attach the bundle to the wig. And while making this wig, I did do the flip over method. I didn't cut any of my wefts while making this wig. When you do the flip over method, especially when you're double wefting your bundles, you want to make sure you get that part where you flipped it as flat as possible. And usually what I do is I will stitch it right at that flip as many times as I have to in order for it to lay flat. Here I'm just rebraiding the frontal. I had to rebraid this a couple of times because it kept coming loose. But yeah, just tightening up the braid and continuing to stitch the 20-inch bundle. In the next clip, I'm going to be showing you guys how the wig looks so far when I pull it up, and it looks really good. It looks poppin'. It looks great. So now I'm just continuing with my 18-inch bundle, and I'm still double wefting this one. I didn't single any bundles until I got to the top of the wig, and even then I double wefted a lot of it. Okay, the rest of this is pretty much the same thing, just repeating all of the same steps. So I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and watch, and if there's anything that I need to explain, I will come back and explain it. This is where I started to single weft the last bundle at like close to the top of the wig. And when I did this, I pretty much just go across. I'm not going in a U shape anymore. I'm just filling in the last of the gap. And I'm still doing the flip over method. As you can see, after I just flipped the little track over, I'm going straight across. There's no curve to the track or anything. It's just straight across. I'ma give you all the things that nobody can. I'ma make you bounce like a hurricane. I'ma make your bed rock like a hurricane. I'm a hurricane. Now I'm just working on closing up the rest of the wig, and I'm still doing the flip over as I've been doing the whole entire time. If you're doing the flip over method like I am, you want to make sure that when you get to this part, you make the flip or the stitch where the flip is as flat as possible, because you don't want it to be lumpy and bumpy when you go to put it up and you see the tracks through it, or it won't lay flat. So just pay really close attention to how you're stitching and closing up the tracks to the rest of the 360 frontal. As you can see, I don't have a lot of track left, and I still didn't want to cut my weft, so I just flipped it over and stitched the mess out of this section until it laid really flat. I didn't want to cut my tracks at all, so that was just the extra step that I did, so I wouldn't have to cut any tracks. But if you don't have any problems cutting your tracks, then go right ahead. I just didn't want to. Now I'm just brushing the hair up into a ponytail to see how it looks when it would be up in a bun or a ponytail, a high ponytail, all of that good stuff. And as you can see, it looks pretty good. And here I am putting it into that ponytail, and then I decided to take it out because I didn't like it. I wanted the ponytail to be higher. So yeah, here it is, redoing the ponytail, and then I put it into a bun just to see how that would look, and it looks good. Here I am just taking out the braid. I didn't have to do this because after that I just cut off the cap, and I could have left the braid there, but I just decided to undo the braid, and I turned the wig inside out, and the scissors that I was using to cut the cap weren't very sharp. So yes, I am using safety scissors. I'm using my son's safety scissors to cut off the rest of the dome cap. Don't come for me. And it actually worked a lot better than those other scissors that I was using. So after I cut off the cap, then I went around the cap with some more thread. I just stitched around the dome cap and stitched it to the lace. You know how people say don't cut too close to the cap because it will come loose or blah 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 blah. That kind of counteracts that, so you don't have to worry about cutting too close to your cap, and if you do, then this will definitely fix that. Alright you guys, that's pretty much it for this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you in the next one.